Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Morning Coffee. Welcome back to Morning Coffee. I'm Mark Iorio.
I'm still Joe Asamende.
Joe Asamende.
Yeah.
This is Dr. Gerald Smith. Dr. Smith, welcome.
Thank you.
We're going to talk about your book, Removing the Splinters and Watching the Body Heal. You are a fascinating doctor, talking about technology and the healing of the human body, Doc, and we're going to kind of get into that. And I want to talk about what the content of your book is and your feelings about the healthcare system.
Well, as I said earlier, basically the healthcare system's broken, and for the simple reason that you walk into your doctor's office, and like I said, if he gives you 3 minutes, you think you've been blessed by the Pope. He basically is focusing in on your symptoms, and then he writes a script, and off you go. So you're one of 60 that you're going to be seen that day. That's not healing. Healing is delineating the underlying cause of the problem.
Right.
Give you a perfect example. 9.5 years ago, we had a patient that came to us with a problem that they wanted to do a liver transplant. Now, that's pretty serious stuff.
Right.
For 27 years, his liver was swollen, and with all their gold standard technology, could not delineate what the cause was. So their solution was, let's give him someone else's liver.
Wow.
It took me 1 hour with energetic testing. He had benzene and hepatitis B in his liver.
Wow.
I put him on a nutritional program. 7 months later, his alkaline phosphatase is back to normal. His liver that was swollen for 27 years is back to normal. And for 9.5 years, he's had blood tests every 6 months, and they're all normal. Now, the tragedy of the whole situation is the insurance company says, we can't insure you because you have a liver problem.
Oh,
Right,
wow.
right,
Yeah,
exactly.
Sure.
They don't believe that you can reverse these things.
Yeah.
So do you think that doctors basically, they treat the symptoms, but they're not really going in depth to find out what the cause is?
Yeah, because that's based on their educational system.
Okay.
They're only taught to look at a blood test, they see something's out of balance, and they give you a medication. Oh, your cholesterol's high, we're going to give you statin drugs. Well,
Right.
come on, wake up, people. It's a $29 billion a year industry for that one class of drugs,
Absolutely.
statin drugs.
Yeah.
And it's successful, 1 in 99 patients. Cholesterol's not a disease, it's a symptom
Right.
that something's
Right.
out of balance.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So when patients come to you, Doc, when you do an assessment of a patient, what are some of the things that you do? How do you determine what the root cause of some of these issues are?
Good question. Number one, we use a very sophisticated software program from Germany called CyberScan. In 10 seconds, by putting your palm on the Tesla coil, it takes a holographic energy pattern of your body, and it has a database of over 135,000 electromagnetic signatures. So, for example, every virus, every chemical has an electromagnetic signature, just like your signature. And basically, the software is comparing known frequencies of known substances with your frequencies. And it comes up with a whole list of stressors. And then by presenting the stressors to your body electromagnetically, it wakes your body up to deal with the cause instead of masking the symptom.
Let me ask you something. Why are other healthcare professionals not attuned to this, Doc? What's going on out there other than the money?
Right.
Well, did you ever see your license, whether it be driver's license or professional license, dangled in front of you and the threat of being taken away? That's how they control the medical profession. If you veer off the reservation, you do so-called non-standard of care therapy,
Right.
they can take your license away.
Right.
Who can take your license away?
The American
specifically?
Medical
AMA?
Association.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you haven't. They haven't touched you because you have. Before we went on the air, we started talking about technology. And
Yes.
people don't associate. Let me take that back. People do associate technology with the healthcare system, but not the right technology.
Correct.
And so when you explain that to you're explaining that to Joe and I and the viewers out there, where you put your hand on a
Tesla coil.
Tesla coil.
Correct.
I mean, I've never heard of that.
No, I haven't. It's science
My
fiction to me.
doctor's never talked to me
Because
about that.
he doesn't know that he doesn't know.
Right.
So the thing is, number one, I have an independent license to practice natural medicine.
Okay.
World Organization of Natural Medicine is an international group. We have Vatican and UN recognition. So if they try to come after me, they have no jurisdiction over my independent license.
Okay.
That's how you beat the system.
Excellent.
At their own game.
Yeah.
But getting back to the technology, you have to go down certain rabbit holes to get the exposure to this technology. You're not going to hear it taking your conventional continuing education credits. It's not available.
What triggered you to go down this rabbit hole?
My mother asked the same question. Basically, in 1982, I got involved with a study group in Marlton, New Jersey, which is not too far from here.
Sure, that's where I live.
With chiropractors.
Okay.
And I was a dentist from my training, and I was exposed to a whole new arena that I never knew it existed.
Yeah.
And one of the chiropractors, Harvey Getzop, a sweetheart guy, he invited me to take a postgraduate course in the Meadowlands with Larry DeMann. This was back in 1982. And he was talking about the cranium, the TMJ, and the pelvis.
Right.
And I'm saying, wow, I never knew this stuff existed.
Yeah.
But the thing that I was aware of, that they didn't understand the dental component of the puzzle. So I took, thousands of hours of continuing education in nutrition and chiropractic and osteopathic physical therapy. And finally, after 35 years, the light bulb went on, and it all started to come clear. And that's one of the reasons why I wrote the book, is to wake people up to the technology that exists, that works. I mean, I can give you a perfect example. We had a patient presented to me with stage 4 throat cancer.
Oh my.
That's a death sentence.
Yeah, it is.
So he says to his endocrinologist at the hospital, which is right around the corner from my office, he's going to go alternative. The doctor says it's a farce. Okay. I evaluate him. He had 3 root canal teeth. Root canal teeth were the only profession that embalms an organ and keeps it in the body.
Yeah,
Okay,
you're not
well,
kidding.
We, as a profession, we kill more people than most other healthcare professions, and we don't even get the credit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's true. So, excuse me. So the bottom line is, I extract the teeth because the same pathogens that were in the teeth were in his throat where the cancer was.
Wow.
Yeah, because they never connect the dots. Back in the 40s, they knew dental interference fields were a major factor in all kinds of diseases.
Yeah.
Long story short, I removed the teeth, put him on raw food diet, frequencies. He was getting insulin potentiation therapy. And Joe, in 3 weeks, his cancer disappeared because I removed the splinters and his body healed. He goes back to the doctor and he says, I want to talk to your other cancer patients and tell them what's available. Doctor wouldn't talk to him. Would not talk to him.
Well, how do we fix this now?
By educating the people. When the people understand that cancer is not a disease, it's a survival mechanism of the body. All cancers are the same. It makes no difference. Brain cancer, uterine cancer, prostate cancer, it's hypoxia, low oxygen. Why doesn't it occur? Real simple. All the oils that we're getting in our diet on a daily basis are adulterated oils. The adulterated oils are corrupting our cell membranes, preventing the oxygen from getting in. Now, look, you're going to think it's a little crazy statement, but Hitler did one good thing. His mother had breast cancer. He was paranoid about getting cancer. When he came into power in 1933, he commandeered the brightest scientists in Germany, one of which was Otto Warburg. And he gave them the challenge, find the answer to cancer. Otto Warburg won a Nobel Prize in physiology in 1931 because he discovered that cancer is caused by fermentation, low oxygen.
Right.
So when you replace the cell membrane with cold-pressed organic omega-6 oils like safflower oil, sunflower oil,
Pure.
pure,
Right.
it repairs the cell membrane. The omega-6 oils acts as a magnet, pulling in the oxygen to the cell. And guess what? Cancer disappears.
That is so fascinating. I mean,
Unbelievable.
when I'm going to ask you a question about a specific product, you may not want to comment on it, but there is a new, we won't mention the name of the product on air, but there is a new omega-3 prescription tablet that is supposed to be pure. Are they the kinds of things that you would prescribe for patients, Doc?
Okay, well, I used to do a radio show with a retired medical doctor, and we'd bring some of these geniuses on. Brian S. Peskin, PhD, he's the one that came up with this omega-6, omega-3 combo. It's an 11-to-1 ratio. From his research, and we're not looking at the fluff journals, we're looking at true scientific journals. It's the omega-6s are more important than the omega-3s.
Really? So what is it? What is an omega-6 oil?
Right. What is it?
It's basically sesame oil,
Sesame
safflower
oil,
oil, you know, that type of oil. But
Okay.
the difference is, all the studies that have been done were done with adulterated omega-6s, and therefore, it's pro-inflammatory. It's not healthy for you. But they didn't do the research on organic cold-pressed omega-6, which is anti-inflammatory and healing. Perfect example. Last July, I was down in Mexico, Zihuatanejo. If you remember the movie Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, where did Andy Dufresne go when he escaped?
That's where he went.
He went to Zihuatanejo. So anyway, I took a trip there with my lady friend. I was out in the sun, 91 degrees, beautiful clear sky, and I didn't burn. Why? Because the skin has a 1,000-to-1 ratio of omega-6 to omega-3. For 5 months, I've been taking these pure organic cold-pressed oils. I repaired my skin. I didn't have any inflammation. The reason why you burn is the adulterated oils that are in your skin are causing inflammation. The sun just exacerbates it.
I want you to explain adulterated oils and what happens when you adulterate a product.
Well, it changes the chemical nature of it, and it reduces the activity for healing.
Yeah.
So in order for an oil to sit on the shelf, they have to manipulate the chemistry so it doesn't go rancid.
Right.
Right.
And this is going to go against 99.9% of all doctors' philosophies out there. Fish oil is rancid at room temperature. A fish swimming in 30-degree water,
Right.
the oil is antifreeze for the fish.
Right.
Else it would die.
Right.
But you take the same oil, you put it into this room at 70 degrees,
Yeah.
it goes rancid. You put it in your body at 98.6, it's even more rancid. It's toxic.
Interesting.
So fish oil is toxic for your body then?
Yeah, well, the pharmaceutical industry spent millions and millions of dollars, and it took them 10 years to educate the doctor to prescribe it. It's the leading prescribed supplement in this country,
Of course.
fish oil.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Very interesting. So, we'll transition. We want to talk
Sure.
a little bit about this coronavirus, the COVID-19,
Right.
Doc, and what's actually happening out there, the spread of the virus and the disease, and what we can do as citizens, and then your views on really what it is and how we can prevent it from spreading.
Well, of interest is the fact that Dr. Richard Chang, who was over in Hunan, and they were treating some of the worst cases over there with IV vitamin C, high doses, like maybe 24,000 grams,
Saw that,
and they
yeah.
reversed it.
Right.
So my recommendation to my patients and anyone else, take 3,000 to 6,000 milligrams, not of ascorbic acid, but food-based vitamin C, real food-based. I use Indian gooseberry. Bottom line is called AMLA, A-M-L-A. It's real vitamin C based from food. It protects your immune system. It's antiviral, antibacterial, and antifungal. And look, do you ever take care of your lawn?
Of course.
Sure.
Okay, I took a course in organic lawn care, and the presenter made an astonishing statement. He said, weeds only grow in an imbalanced soil.
Right.
And I'm saying, wow, it's the same thing with the human body.
Yeah.
Disease only takes place when you
When
have
you're imbalanced.
toxic terrain, you have an imbalance, exactly.
Interesting.
And it's so damn simple. You say, well, how do you kill the virus? That's not the problem. If you have a healthy terrain, balanced pH, real food in your body, nutrients, the virus can't take hold. Now, my take on it, it's real simple. The coronavirus is a cover story, a narrative. For what? 5G. Several months before Hunan incident, they rolled out 5G. 5G does two interesting things physiologically. One, it dissociates the oxygen in your hemoglobin, lowering the oxygen to your tissues so you can't defend against pathogens. Secondly, it's a pulsed wave, 60 megahertz. It opens up the cell membrane, allowing the viruses to get inside the cell faster. That's why it's spreading so fast.
Wow.
Because what's happening in the United States? They're rolling out 5G.
Right, exactly. Wow, that's fascinating, Doc. It really is. You are an incredible knowledge base for us, and I'd like the audience to understand, first of all, how they can get in touch with you, where your office is, and whether or not you're taking new patients.
Yes, I'm located in Langhorne, Pennsylvania, not too far from here.
Yep.
And, we have several interesting websites. One is icnr.com. I have 158 case studies, cancer, Raynaud's, you name it, vertigo.
Wow.
And that we reversed. And basically, you can call 800-272-2323.
Okay.
Or you can go on our website and see first what we have to offer. But we deal with unique situations. By the time someone rolls onto my doorstep, they got problems. Perfect example, last June we had a fellow fly in from San Francisco. He had a serious heart problem called cardiac sarcoidosis, very fancy name.
Oh, yeah.
Chronic inflammation of the heart.
Yep.
Well, I went on the Mayo Clinic's website, and Joe, you know what it said on there?
No.
There is no cure for cardiac sarcoidosis.
Yeah.
Okay.
Their treatment is steroids to a heart transplant.
Right.
So I asked my patient a critical question. I said, did you have any exposure to any chemicals when you were growing up? He said, oh yeah, when I grew up in India, he said, me and my buddies would chase the truck spraying DDT. Interesting. When I tested him energetically, he had DDT in his heart. He had glyphosate, which is Roundup,
Wow.
some viruses and heavy metals all in his heart. Put him on a nutritional program for those splinters.
Yeah.
5 months later, he comes in with a big smile on his face and a stack of blood tests.
Wow.
And he said, Doc, I have no more heart problems, and all my blood tests are normal.
That is fascinating.
Wow.
Wow.
Really?
So the key is Mayo Clinic, Johns Hopkins, they don't know how to define the core issue. This is new technology. It's more accurate than a blood test. A blood test only gives you a snippet of what's floating in your blood at that particular point in time. It doesn't tell you what the heck's causing it.
Wow.
Really? You open up an entire panorama to me
Yeah.
of the wrong thinking that's making us sick and not getting us well.
That's right.
And you got to turn this around somehow. I mean, the work you're doing, it's got to be out there more.
Oh, I agree. And again, that's why I wrote the book, to educate people on what's available. See, most people get intimidated by their doctor. And, they go to the doctor and, oh, that's a farce. Don't do that. My cousin flew up from Florida. They almost killed him with oral chemo. He had stage 3 melanoma, which is a death sentence in traditional medicine. So the bottom line, well, what's really funny, it's an interesting story. His daughter-in-law is a head nurse at a big hospital down in Florida. And she said, because I gave my cousin a copy of my other book called Reversing Cancer. And she said, that book is 12 years old. It's outdated. So I said to my cousin, ask Maz when they're coming out with a new edition of the Bible.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right,
great
exactly.
answer.
The bottom line is truth is truth. I don't care if it's 5,000 years, 10 years, whatever. Truth is truth. So he flew up. I triaged him, found out the underlying causes, had him buy his own ozone machine.
Yeah.
4 months later, the PET scans were all normal.
Oh, wow.
So I said to Elliot, do me a favor. Ask your oncologist if she wants to talk to me, and I'll tell her what caused your cancer.
Right.
She didn't want to talk to me.
Well, of course not.
Where can
All
people
right.
buy your book?
Yeah, absolutely.
Where can they buy it?
It's at icnr.com. It's available.
Dr. Gerald H. Smith, Remove the Splinters and Watch the Body Heal. Fascinating situation here, Doc. Thank you so much for all that knowledge.
Absolutely.
You've opened up our eyes. Thank you.
Well, just one quick comment to you. We've taken this technology to another level. People, this is new technology. It's a credit card sized device, has a magnetic strip that has healing frequencies on it. You put this, take your cup, give me your cup, Joe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whatever you're drinking, coffee, tea, water, you put it on this card. The healing frequencies become imprinted into the liquid that you're drinking, and it heals. You can go, there's an interesting website. It's called teslahealing.net.
Wow.
And you'll see within 24 hours, this woman had severe rash around her mouth, cracked lips. She put her water on there that she was drinking. She said she literally, her own words, I saw my mouth healing in front of me. This is new technology that's going to blow the industry wide open.
Wow.
Wow. I need about a
Fascinating.
dozen of those.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
Well,
Thank
thanks,
you.
Doc. We appreciate
Absolutely.
you being here. Well, that's going to be a wrap for morning coffee. It was fun.
Yeah,
I
thank you for
can't touch
inviting
you.
me.
I'm not
Oh,
going to touch you. I'm not going to touch you, Doc.
What are you afraid of?
Well,
Yeah,
we're not afraid of
there you
anything.
go.
I'm not afraid of anything. We'll see you next week on Morning Coffee. Have a wonderful and safe week, everyone.
Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.